welcome back to my channel. Today I'm out in the garden and looking at my Rose of Sharon shrubs, and this year for some reason my Rose of Sharon shrubs have a lot of seed heads on them. Typically this is a seedless variety by Proven Winners. I think this is the blue chiffon. I think these are the double blooms, but they have a lot of buds that did not open and lots of seed heads on it. So what I want to do is I want to get rid of these seed heads because I don't want them to drop and create babies, baby plants all over. So that's what I'm going to do. It's one of these chores that I'm going to do in the fall. As you can see, these are the seed heads. These are not going to bloom. They are very hard and forming seeds. So what I'm planning to do is I'm going to just cut off the tops. I was meaning to prune this shrub in spring, but I think I'm going to give it a prune now in fall, because Rose of Sharon is pretty hardy and it can take a good pruning at any time. So it really doesn't have too many branches at the base. As you can see, it is planted in between these two evergreen shrubs, and I really only want the foliage to stay on top. So I'm going to give this shrub a little bit of a prune and remove all the seed heads. And I just wanted to show you what the seed heads look like. I mean, it's a very pretty shrub when in full bloom. It's covered in these double blue flowers, which I really enjoy. So with a little bit of maintenance, I can avoid any of the seedlings from being born and developed. So I'm just going to cut, as you can see. I'm just going to cut out these seed heads. I'll probably take the branching down to about this height, get rid of a lot of the height so that next year it can flush out new growth and lots of blooms and branching. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'll show you when I'm all done. I kind of wanted to show you how large this shrub is. It is pretty large. It's probably about I would say 10 feet tall at this point, and it's been in the ground for a good 6 to 7 years. So it grows pretty fast, and it provides a lot of coverage. It kind of screens against my neighbor's yard, so I like the shrub for that reason, and it adds a lot of nice floral interest in all of summer pretty much. So I will show you once I'm done pruning this one. So here it is. I'm done pruning this shrub here. I took down at least about a foot of the plant, and as you can tell that I haven't really made all the branches one length, because I like almost like the vase shape structure that this plant has, and the different heights on this shrub. I do not like them to be all one length. So what I've done is I've tried to like take it down to this point, like most of the branches, so that when you cut it off below the node here, the branching node, it is going to encourage more branching and a fuller plant. So that's what I've done to this one, and you know, I'll show you what this even looks like from the front here. It is still fairly tall. I do not want to like reduce the height too much, but I do like how this looks now. It's a bit more even, and all the seed heads are off, and I took down about a foot of the plant. So I don't usually like to take down more than that. I think this should be enough to rejuvenate this plant for next year, and just getting rid of the seed pods, and it's looking quite lush and fresh and full still, so, and it's only going to get better for next year. So I'll show you some other Rose of Sharon plants that I have that I recently planted this year, which are very small but also have similar seed heads. And for those plants, I'm just going to remove the seed heads, and that's about it. I do not want to impact the height too much because they really are only a couple of feet tall. So I'll show you those now. So the other two Rose of Sharon are in the back over here near my back fence. I think they are the first edition's Fiji rose. As you can see, it has a lot of seed heads on it, and so I'm going to just remove all of these seed heads. I'm just going to snip the ends off, and that's what I plan to do on these ones, because like I said, they're only about a couple of feet tall. Really pretty flowers on this one. It is like a nice white with purple and pink center, so it looks really nice, this flower. So I have two of these here. This one, it's already like breaking open its seed pods, so I do not want these seeds to scatter here, and next year I'm going to have to clean up a lot of baby plants. And although they are supposed to be seedless variety, I find that with Rose of Sharon, when they're not the double variety, this can be a problem. So it's something to keep in mind. If you are planting these in your garden, they will spread. And even though there are newer varieties, this is a newer variety, but this can happen, and you have to manage and maintain this in your garden. So that's what I'm going to do to this one, and I'll show you when it's all done. That's it. I just wanted to show you that I only cut out the seed heads from those plants, just the top portion, just so that I don't want any seeds from falling. And as you can see, there are many seeds within this little seed pod that is going to, if you plant them, you'll get more Rose of Sharon plants in abundance. And this is what the seeds look like of this Rose of Sharon. So just wanted to show you this seed. That's what it looks like. Recommend removing them before it becomes a problem in your garden, and you have to clean up in spring. So I'll show you what the prune plants look like. As I'm going in the back side of this bed, I can't help but notice how pretty this hibiscus looks. I really love hibiscus flowers. They are so bright and beautiful in the garden, and that's the reason, even though sometimes these Rose of Sharon can be a pain, I love seeing them in my garden and looking at those flowers when they bloom. They're just so pretty. Look at this one. So yeah, so this is what the plant looks like. All of the buds have been removed, and it's, I think, ready for next year to flush out more growth and new growth. So just wanted to show you this little video on how to prune your Rose of Sharon. Like I said, it's not a very fussy plant. You can prune it at any time. It blooms on new wood, so you are not going to hurt next year's blooms. It's just going to make it grow better if you give it a good prune, and it'll come back, you know, more vigorous next year with lots of buds and flowers. Just fertilize it if you want in the spring, and once it starts coming out of its dormancy, and then you'll see that it's going to be full of buds again and give you blooms. And most of these blooms should turn into flowers, but there are times when some of the blooms do not turn into flower and they form seed heads. The newer varieties are not supposed to be doing that, but in my experience, it can still happen. Although with my blue chiffon Rose of Sharon, I've never seen a baby around it, so it's been pretty sterile for me. It's just this year I noticed there were a lot of buds that did not open, so I just wanted to be proactive and cut them out, just to avoid problems for next year. So thanks so much for watching this video. I just wanted to share with you the pruning of Rose of Sharon, and I hope you found this useful. If you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more updates. Thank you.